Alright, so what inspired this rant today? I'm watching the YouTube Rewind video. I think it's one of the most hated videos in the history of YouTube, or it quickly will be. First is Justin Bieber's Baby. So the fact that it's the most hated inspires some hope within me. Nonetheless, the YouTube trending feed is a constant reminder of how far YouTube has fallen from grace. What was once a very open source, democratic platform has quickly come to reflect the world that we live in today, one which is very elitist, exclusive, mainstream, and unexceptional in every possible way. I really don't understand the marketing model of YouTube, because the people who actually have money are the people in the 35 plus crowd. But it seems as though YouTube is increasingly being tailored towards 12-year-olds. 12-year-olds who clearly do not have money to buy things that advertisers actually want, but apparently they do. Now, either advertisers are complete idiots, or they're starting to follow the old school model, which is the Coca-Cola based advertising model, where you're not really trying to get immediate conversions, but you're trying to build brand loyalty. And I think that's what the recipe is here. Now that they've realized that YouTube is now the de facto platform for entertainment and media, and it's quickly replacing cable TV, advertisers are once again moving away from the pay-per-click model and just trying to build brand loyalty. So Coca-Cola doesn't care if you click on an ad, they just want you to see Coca-Cola and remember that Coca-Cola is the cola. In marketing, it's all about familiarity, because familiarity is comfort. You're comfortable with what you know, and the more you see something, the more you start to associate it with the function it's said to perform, the more comfortable you're going to be with it, and the more likely you are to buy it. Nothing says we are a nation of infantile, degenerate morons more than the YouTube trending feed. There is nothing of intellectual substance, barely ever, on this, asides pop culture educational stuff. The weird thing here, and not really weird to me because I know how the system works, the weird thing here is that this is coming out of the same political platform which claims that we are destroying the planet. So where's all the talk about that? Like, there's not even one video here which talks about irreversible climate change. And this is why I actually believe what Guy McPherson and most of the major scientists are talking about. A lot of people think that that is propaganda, but this is the truth. They're not talking about it. They're not telling you to prepare for it. They're telling you to watch Ellen DeGeneres over and over and over again. So again, this trending feed stuff is a first world problem. It's quickly becoming a second and third world problem, but it's a first world problem. So I'm not complaining in the sense that I don't appreciate the technology, or that I don't appreciate the immensely complicated technological superpower that is YouTube. And I'm sure that when you go into the higher echelons of YouTube, they got their own share of problems to try to appease their advertisers and all the rest. I get that. I get the struggle. But what this is doing is not helping our situation. But what's seriously disturbing is that this is a platform that could be used to empower human beings, and it's doing the exact opposite. It's dumbing us down. My only question is, what is this trending feed going to look like when the economic bubble eventually bursts? Which it's going to burst. It has to burst. What's this trending feed going to look like when things start to get serious? Because in the last 5 years, aside one or two out of 100 videos that are ever on the trending feed are ever about something realistic. So when things really get serious, is YouTube going to use this platform for the purpose of actually informing people as to what's going on and providing alternative viewpoints? I mean, how could YouTube, that emerged from the grassroots, not see the value in embracing alternative viewpoints on different events. And how could it deny the countless examples throughout history where big corporations basically suppressed or drowned out the little guy so that they could get their viewpoint put across on everybody? How could they just deny that? Number one on the YouTube trending feed is this cat animation thing. So now the whole thing is, and arguably what it's always been, is people of mediocre substance and intellect and personality being pieced together in something palatable with over-the-top production and jump cuts. That's basically what YouTube is. So from the top, number one video, we got Our Cats. I watched about 4 minutes of this video because, you know, I like to see what's on I like to keep my finger on the pulse of mainstream culture. Most people want to just, you know, forget about it, but you need to know what you're up against in this world. You need to know how people are thinking. You got to be up on your memes. Otherwise, society quickly devolves without you, and you wouldn't want that now, would you? So I watched this cat video, and I gave it a chance, and there's nothing there. Like, I tried to even view it from the perspective of a mindless automaton, and I still cannot understand how or why people like watching this crap. It's like the Fortnite degeneracy, how a game with terrible graphics, how people are now wanting everything to be downgraded, including text-based communication. There's no better example of that than texting, how we would go from the phone basically back to something that's equivalent to the telegraph in the sophistication of our interaction with one another. It's almost like people are getting so dumb that they can't even process good graphics anymore. It's as if we're regressing back to the little puzzles that we did as kids where you're trying to put the triangle into the square. Even the TV show Cribs, like how your house is now your crib, and they throw you the YouTube trending soother, and you suck on that pacifier until you're lulled into a long, deep sleep that will last your entire life. Anyways, and so here we go. It's all trailers, and it's talk show hosts, celebrities, Will Smith. Now, the whole Rewind thing was just a total disaster. That was an elitist circle jerk to the max. And I'm very proud because I got one of the top comments on a PewDiePie video where I basically commented that the YouTube Rewind was an elitist circle jerk, which is what it was. So late night with blah blah blah, the Tonight Show with Who Cares, the Ellen Show, it's all Ellen. And the YouTube Rewind was so blatantly PC. And I'm not even against PC stuff. I'm all about a good balance of stuff. I'm not like some people who are anti-PC. I think that, you know, there's a place to bring people together and to recognize the perils and the struggles of disparaged groups in society, but they just push it to the max, to the point where it's just cringy AF. Here's some more animation. See, this is the future. It's all about cartoons. It's because we can't, as adults, possibly process anything that isn't more than 3 minutes, that isn't devoid of any substance whatsoever, and boiled down to its bare bones parsimonious ingredients. We can only absorb cartoony stuff which is geared towards a 5-year-old's understanding of the world. And people wonder why, if they ever wanted to, the people pulling the purse strings of empire could ever possibly put one over us. It's the outlines, you know, yeah, and then these guys, you know, if they're stupid, $192 dessert versus $1 dessert. Like, they're doing these videos where they're comparing cheap stuff to expensive stuff. I get the original premise of things like this and that you want to educate consumers. But really, 1.5 million views to do something which took absolutely no creativity whatsoever. I mean, how original is that? And these guys have production teams. You know what I mean? So it's not like it's an individual that's doing this stuff, like PewDiePie, who, ironically, the biggest YouTuber, is one of the few I actually still respect. And even though what he does, it's all situational humor, he's really not that funny, because he was on Conan O'Brien, and he admits it. He makes fun of himself that, you know, in real life, most YouTubers are not that funny. They're not stand-up comedians. So it all relies on the jump cuts and the randomized buffoonery that accents every video. Like, look at this. Weird items versus water filter. Like, this guy probably spent more time making this thumbnail. I got nothing against good thumbnails, but this is over the top. More time making this thumbnail than he did thinking up this idea. Will it filter? I don't know. Who really cares? I mean, 264,000 people really care. Guess that song, the whole React channel. Watching a couple people who are now, it's to the point where even the reaction videos are scripted. Just like reality TV turned into not so reality TV. Reaction videos are no longer, you know, the authentic voyeuristic experience they once were. Ariana Grande, don't really care. Jude Law, Answer the World. See, now they're bringing the celebrities. Like, why do I care if Jude Law answers the web's most searched questions? I know I'm really being negative here and pessimistic. I could look at this optimistically, but it would just take too much damn mental energy. Marvel Studios, The Avengers. People are still not sick of these movies. I just don't get the superhero. I mean, I understand that there's a lot of fatherless children out there in the world today, and that it's a godless society, even though I'm not religious, and that we're looking to worship something greater than ourselves, and that it manifests as our abhorrence of this fantasy land bullshit. But it's just too much. I mean, it's got to get old at some point, doesn't it? How many of these movies have they made? Like, there must be dozens so far. I don't even keep track anymore. Name brand versus generic cereal taste test. Wow, that must have taken a lot. Must have taken so much mental energy to think that one up. Here's a car worth $10 million. Okay, well, that's, you know, it's good just to know what the most expensive car in the world is. All right, James Charles. Okay, so this is the new thing. This is the most popular makeup person on YouTube now is now a transgendered individual. It is what it is. It's very consistent with the District 1 society that we have now. I have nothing against transgendered people, but it's become blatantly obvious that YouTube is very culturally liberal, and not just, you know, moderately culturally liberal, but hyper culturally liberal. We live in a swipe right or left culture, which is not rooted in reading a person's profile, reading about, you know, what their interests are. It's basically how you look, and even how you talk to people. Even dating nowadays is severely messed up. It's like this game of who can be the most douchebaggy, shallow moron possible for the longest period of time. If you demand somebody have some core traditional values of any sort, you're some kind of weird aberration to be feared. Like, this is idiocracy to the max right here. Then we got I don't know what the hell this is. That looks like The View or something. Smallest slime in the world. That's what it's all about. It's all about pandering to 10-year-olds, because 10-year-olds have all the rights and privileges that parents used to have. And if you in any way challenge this cult of youth, well, we're going to take your kids and we're going to put them in a foster home, and we're going to indoctrinate them with whatever perspective we see fit. And your ass probably going to go to jail because you tried to take away little Johnny's iPad before he said so. Kingdom Hearts 3 looks like garbage. Some makeup, expensive products that aren't worth it. And, you know, this is probably the same chick that's makes an entire living off of selling women, because that's the huge thing. There's a really funny college humor video, and I'm gonna post a link to that one. It's the truth about if beauty channels were truthful or something like that. It's hilarious. She's trying to seem like she's looking out for her shallow subscriber base, who's conflicted between, you know, women's liberation, whatever that means, by putting as much makeup on your face as you possibly can, and trying to maintain as many shallow relationships as you can at once. That's the whole game. And pranks. Oh, let's watch more people react. You see, it's all about watching people react and acting at their most primitive, because that's what a reaction is. It's like a reptile reacts. Because you see, a human being in theory is supposed to have more advanced cognitive capabilities that would allow them to actually respond to things and formulate more complex thoughts. But that's not what people want these days. They want more breadth, less depth. We want 1,000 friends who we're never going to meet and we're never going to have a great conversation with, instead of one good person we can actually trust. This is high culture right here. This is a high point of civilization. Looks like some Dancing with the Stars, you know. It's gonna be one of those tear jerkers. You watch it and it's so amazingly good, and the parents are crying and the judges stand up and they give the applause and 3 stars, blah blah blah. Pakistani village food, don't care. Have we seen one educational or informative thing yet? No. Occasionally, there'll be one. There'll be one actual story in the YouTube trending feed, and they do this just to say that it's somewhat educational. We'll find it eventually. It's got to be in here somewhere. Got some more transgendered stuff, some more Miley Cyrus, some more mainstream talk show hosts, People TV. See, it's turning into TV. Oh, here we go, CNN. Here's the serious thing. Here's their serious piece, and it's George Bush delivering his heartfelt eulogy for his father, G.H.W. Bush. Okay, and here we got some more original content. Original versus gourmet. 16 million views to watch some guy surf across a bunch of balls. I actually watched that just because I admit I watched it. I wanted to see if he could do it, and he did it. And I contributed to the downfall of the species. More videos, music videos, swiping 30 guys. I watched that one. That was pretty awkward, but it's interesting anyways. The experiment, and I would actually say this video was kind of interesting because of the social psychology experiment of it all. It's trying to compare, you know, what the experience of these shallow dating apps would be in real life and if people could actually do it. And that was kind of interesting to me because she did struggle when she was swiping right or left on all these 3 guys. It was awkward AF. I think the everything wrong with videos are still kind of interesting to me. He really actually tries to put some thought and wittiness into his script. The monthly extentation video, I actually thought that kid had potential before he died. He probably was gonna break off from the mainstream scene. Lion King, some more kid stuff. Boogie with a Hoodie, music stuff, some more animation. It's like animation, celebrity, late night show, day show, The View, music, $1,000 gingerbread house versus $1 gingerbread house. Same old crap over and over and over and over again. What's it going to be like in 5 years? I'll tell you what it's going to be like. And I actually think YouTube is at a point where it's going to have to break off between the authentic creators that the majority of people come to the platform for and what the platform originated. Its original purpose was to see real people doing real things, not artificial, overly scripted, overproduced people pretending to do real things. Oh, I forgot one thing. They put their creator on the rise. So just to show how grassroots they are, they'll throw somebody in here who they feel is a creator on the rise, and sure enough, it's probably more of the same nonsense nobody cares about, or everybody cares about, I should say. So that's the world we're living in with YouTube anyway. So we got some news here, and of course it's all mainstream news. It's all the official news sources from the people who've been entrusted to tell us the truth about what's going on. Now, I'm not one of these people that just goes and buys into any alternative viewpoint that comes up just because it's not mainstream. I mean, there's a lot of danger in that too. But clearly, Fox, The Star, CNN, Haaretz, Edmonton Journal, I mean, it's all just a bunch of, and look at, they got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 stories on here. That's the news? This is what's going on in the world? Really? Go over to Full Spectrum Survival's channel if you want to actually know what's going on in the world. This is a joke. This is a total joke. And of course it's sandwiched. It comes forth. Rewind, music, gaming, then news. sandwiched between films and gaming. Anyways, this video has been long and I gotta go to bed because there's lots of work to do. I got shipments to send for people. Thank you for your support this year. I think I'm gonna have to bring in the All-American Prepper to do his own reaction video to YouTube Rewind. That may well get my channel deleted, but we'll see. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Canadian Prepper out. The best way to support this YouTube channel is to support yourself by gearing up through CanadianPreparedness.com or bugoutroll.ca. Premium quality gear at the best possible price using the incredibly secure and easy to use Shopify platform. We offer free shipping to the United States for orders over $200 USD and free shipping to Canada over $75. So support the channel by supporting yourself.